Hi everyone, a very warm and lovely welcome to Moments with Inonge. You're watching the motivational segment. And to begin our motivational segment, as per tradition, I've got a question, and please do drop your comments, like and share, guys, like and share. Let me know where you're watching from. So, our opening question in tonight's segment is: when life knocks you down, what's the best thing to do? Pretty much, life does knock us down from time to time. Sometimes it will knock us, but not knock us down. At times, it will knock us down. So, at that point, what do you do? Please drop your comments, like and share. Like and share this broadcast, like and share, tag a friend to also join this segment. So like and share, guys, like and share. So while you're answering that question, if there is anybody that is watching for the first time, or they're not too familiar with the schedule for Moments with Inonge, I would love to share the schedule with you. So every Sunday we have the inspirational segment at 1 p.m. Central African Time, and Mondays we have the motivational segment, which is this segment that you're watching, and every Tuesday we have the leadership segment, which is coming up tomorrow. And then we have a free 30 minutes coaching session, the history of your future. Please, 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 guys, endeavor to take advantage of this free coaching session while it lasts. What it will do is it will actually give you a sense of the future that lies ahead of you, as well as give you an opportunity to experience what professional coaching is all about. And then we also offer one-on-one coaching services as well as group coaching. So please, guys, ensure that you actually enroll for these coaching sessions. So for the coaching sessions that I'm currently offering Put Your Dream to the Test by John C. Maxwell, and 15 Laws of Invaluable Growth. So we have the one-on-one coaching as well as the group coaching. So there's some friends that are intentional about growth, and actually approached me to say, Inonge, we don't want to go through the coaching like just one-on-one. We want to come and do the coaching as friends. Do you offer those services? So I said, yeah. So for those that are intentional about growth and actually want to grow alongside with their friends, the coaching services are there. So you can actually come up with quite a number of friends and actually book this coaching session. So the advantage of booking this group coaching among friends is that it comes with a discount. So if you're doing the Put Your Dream to the Test, it's going for 1,500 kwacha. But let's say if you are five, if you were doing it individually, it would cost you about something like 7,500, but instead you be given this coaching session for a discount of 5,000. So that's the advantage of group coaching among friends. But some people are smart, so they may not really be friends, but maybe they see somebody watching, they see somebody commenting, and they say, oh, hi, are you interested in doing the coaching with Inonge? And if you are, can we pair up so that we can build a team and get it at a discounted rate? So we also have something very, very interesting that is starting next month, the month of March, and this is called the Practical Table. The Practical Table. I'm going to give you more information about it maybe during the course of the week, but please, please, please just bear in mind that we have another hot session coming up on Moments with Inonge, and this will be a private group actually, which is called the Practical Table. So our topic for discussion is, by all means, reposition yourself. But before we go into the topic of discussion, which I'm actually excited and itching to get into, I'm just going to go and read the comments. Please, guys, drop your comments. Let me know where you're watching from. Like and share this broadcast. And if you're watching via Facebook, please ensure that you tag a friend. You can share the broadcast. You can even create a watch party. And if you're watching via YouTube, please like and share. You can send the link to somebody through WhatsApp. You can share the link via email. So please, guys, like and share, and also let me know where you're watching from. You are my VIPs. You are the most important people of Moments with Inonge. You are what makes Moments with Inonge what it is. So I am very, very glad you are here. Just drop those comments. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me acknowledge your presence. So we have a comment from Musama, and Musama says he's connected from Zimbabwe. Good evening, Musama. Good evening. Thank you so much for connecting all the way from Zimbabwe. Thank you for finding time just to be part and parcel of this motivational segment. And we have a comment from Caesar, and Caesar says, hey dear, hey Caesar. Caesar goes ahead to drop out a comment and says, watching from Kalulushi. I'm so glad Kalulushi is tuned into the motivational segment. So guys, if you're watching, please drop those comments. Let me know where you're watching from, and like and share this broadcast. Let us get as many people to be enlightened. You know, when you're a lover of yourself, you want to ensure that the people that hang around you are also enlightened. So please, please, please drop those comments. Let me know where you're watching from. We have another comment from Moses, and Moses goes ahead and says, your student is following. Well, Moses, thank you so much for being part and parcel of tonight's motivational segment. I say tonight because Central African time, it's actually evening. So wherever you're watching, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Please bear with me if I say tonight and you look around yourself and it's actually daytime. I'm actually referring to the Central African time. So you're welcome, guys. We have a very, very interesting topic. And our topic for discussion is, by all means, reposition yourself. So guys, there's a question on the screen, and the question is, when life knocks you down, what's the best thing to do? Can I just get one response and we'll get started with tonight's motivational segment? When life knocks you down, what's the best thing to do? Please drop your comments, guys. Drop your comments. And please, guys, do stay tuned for tomorrow's leadership segment. We'll have quite a number of guests in tomorrow's leadership segment, and it's going to be lovely and enlightening. Guys, I'm waiting for your comment. Drop that comment. When life knocks you down, what's the best thing to do? When life knocks you down, what's the best thing to do? Drop that comment. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know what the answer to that question on the screen is according to you. Remember, there is no right or wrong answer, because your perception may not be my perception. How you see things is not how I may see things. So on Moments with Inonge, there is no right, there is no wrong answer. We are all here to learn from one another's experience. So the question is, when life knocks you down, what's the best thing to do? What's the best thing to do? Like and share, tag a friend, create a watch party. If you're watching via Facebook, if you're watching via YouTube, please, even those on YouTube, drop your comments. Let me know where you're watching from. And as well as like and share, tag this, tag somebody and forward the stream to somebody you'd like to see enlightened. So we've got a comment from Caesar, and Caesar says, look for a friend to lift you up. Well, Caesar, thank you so much for that contribution. It's true. When life knocks you down, you got to look for a friend to lift you up. You got to look for somebody to help you get up. Remember, no man is an island. So, Caesar, thank you so much for coming to the rescue. And for those that are still typing, please do drop your comments and At the end of the segment, I'll be able to go through the comments. So drop those comments, let me know where you're watching from, and please feel free to actually participate. Feel free to participate. We have another comment that has just come in from William, and William says, the best thing to do is not to stay down. I have to stand up and continue. Thank you so much, William, for that comment. It is true. When life knocks you down, you don't need to stay down. You've got to stand up and continue. Well, guys, thank you, thank you, thank you. And once again, I say thank you for dropping those comments. For those that are still typing, please continue to drop your comments, and whatever, I share in this segment that you feel you can add to, please ensure that you drop a comment. Whatever you feel you can contribute to others, please ensure that you drop this your comment, because Moments with Inonge is not all about Inonge. It's all about us holding hands and growing, discovering who we are, discovering our purposes, our gifts, and our talents. It's a platform dedicated to personal awareness and development. Together we can and would definitely meet at the top. So our topic for discussion in today's motivational segment is, by all means, reposition yourself. By all means, reposition yourself. So we're going to go right into the segment. We already got an answer to our opening question, and allow me to share this with you. Please be patient. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Please be patient. Okay. So we got that. Okay. Tech guys, are we ready? Okay, we got this. Thank you so much, guys, for your patience. Thank you for bearing with me. Thank you so much for your patience. Okay, so like I said, welcome to Moments with Inonge, and our topic for discussion is, by all means, reposition yourself. You're watching the motivational segment. Please stay tuned and be transformed. Well, the inspirational segment is what actually lays a foundation for the motivational segment and the leadership segment. So from yesterday's inspirational segment, there is a verse that actually lit my bulb. It made my mind just open up. And some of the things that were in that verse, that really caught my attention, where that the fastest runner doesn't always win the race. The strongest warrior doesn't always win the battle. The wise sometimes go hungry. The skillful are not necessarily wealthy. Those who are educated don't always lead successful lives. It is all decided by chance, by being in the right place at the right time. This is not something that I just came up with. For those that would love to look up this verse, you can look it up. It's found in the book of Ecclesiastes 9 and verse 11, and this is the New Living Translation. This is actually the New Living Translation. So when I looked at that verse, the first thing that came to my mind when I was thinking, okay, what is it that I'm going to share with the community of Moments with Inonge? The first thing that came to my mind is the lion, the king of the jungle. When you look at the lion, he's the king of the jungle. And there is just something about him that makes him the king of the jungle. He's not all perfect, but his attributes, his attitude is what makes him the king of the jungle. In this time when we're going through COVID-19, A lot of things may be happening around you. You may have been laid off from your work. You may have been declared redundant. You may have lost your job. You may have lost your business. You may have notice that your business has actually gone down. A lot of things, have happened during this COVID pandemic. I am here to encourage you to say, reposition yourself. Don't stay down. Even in the midst of COVID-19, stay up. Don't stay down. Stay up. And when we look at the lion, we're going to learn some lessons from the lion. And some of the lessons from the lion can actually help us in this time of COVID-19 when, everything seems to be so uncertain. We can learn a lot of lessons from the lion. You see, the lion is not the biggest animal in the jungle. The elephant actually is. But when the elephant sees the lion, the elephant runs away. Not because the elephant can't kill the lion, but because of its mentality. It's because of its mentality. The elephant is big. If it dares to kick the lion, to step on the lion, it can actually kill the lion, but the elephant leaves. So the question is, what makes the lion the king of the jungle if he's not the biggest? We also realize that the lion is not the tallest. The tallest is the giraffe. And the giraffe can also do, a great deal to the lion because the giraffe can actually kick. And when it kicks so hard, but then it's not the king of the jungle. The giraffe is not the king of the jungle. The lion is. So my question still remains, what makes the lion the king of the jungle? Because when we look at the giraffe, one thing that we can, get from the giraffe is, you don't have to be in a certain way in order for you to be the king. There are certain things that can qualify you, even when other attributes disqualify you. We also look at the cheetah. The lion is not the fastest. The cheetah is, and yet the lion is the king of the jungle. When we look at all these attributes, one might not help it but ask, what really makes the lion the king of the jungle? We have the fox. The lion is not the wisest. The fox is. But then if the lion is not the wisest, what makes him, be the king of the jungle? You see, from what we can see is that you don't even have to, be so good at strategic management in order for you to be the king. You can learn one or two things about strategic management, but you don't have to be, so wise. You don't have to know everything about strategizing in order for you to be a king. So now, what is it that actually makes the lion the king of the jungle? That's a question we've got to ask ourselves, because when we look at that scripture that I just opened up with, those stuff that I got from there, you find that, it's not always that the educated are going to live a successful life. It's not always that the skillful are going to live a successful life. What we noticed is that chance is what decides it. And we all have this chance. Opportunity presents itself. But how do we, take that opportunity? What are we doing through this COVID-19? When our lives are not so busy, what is it that we're doing? How are we making ourselves? How are we repositioning ourselves? Assuming you've been laid off work, how are you repositioning yourself such that when the world opens up again and companies are looking for people to employ, how are you positioning yourself so that you may be that one candidate that is actually favored and given employment because you have worked on yourself? What makes the lion the king of the jungle? We're just going to look at a lesson that my mentor taught me about the lion. This lesson is so profound, and I won't be able to share everything about this lesson, but I hope that the little that I share with you is actually going to also just turn you on, like it's going to inspire you, it's going to motivate you to reposition yourself. And in this lesson, we're going to be looking at the lifespan, the lifespan of a lion, the lifespan of a lion. You see, when a lion is born, what happens that between the time that it is born and 6 weeks, its mother protects it. Its mother actually hides it. Its mother keeps the cub away from everything and everyone. So at this point, the lion is actually hidden. But when it's 6 weeks old, the lion is actually, the cub, it's actually taken out from its place of hiding, and it is now introduced to the pride. It is at this point that the mother actually presents the cub to the father. The father comes with so much joy and actually sniffs, the cub. And the father gets to know the cub. And it's during this time that the cub actually gets to learn about the pride. From 6 weeks to 3 months, the cub does not leave the pride. What it actually does is it gets familiar with the pride. It gets to know, the activities that go on within the pride. When the mother goes out to look for food, the cub does not follow. It actually stays back because it is learning the system of the pride. But after the cub is 6 months and going up, between 6 months and 3 years. For now, let me just focus on from 3 months to like 2 years. What happens is that this cub actually goes through a time of learning, a time of training. What it does is that it learns how to eat. It learns how to hunt. And especially if the cub is actually a lioness. Because you need to realize that it is the lioness that goes out to look for food. So when it comes to the lioness, between these 3 months to actually 3 years, it's taught how to eat. It's taught how to hunt. But unfortunate for the lion, because the role of the lion is actually to protect the pride. What goes on is that during this time, it's not taught how to, hunt like the lioness. Instead, it learns by observation. It literally learns by observation. So now I want to bring to your attention something that a lot of people are not aware of. Some stage in our lives that we are not really aware of, like we don't understand the importance of this stage. And this stage in a lion's life is between the age of 2 and 3. This is what my mentor actually, refers to. My mentor actually referred to, may his soul rest in peace. He actually referred to this stage as the scavenger phase. This is a phase when, the lion, because it is not taught to hunt alongside, it only observes. So what happens is that when the animal is caught, the lioness and the lion, they'll eat. Then after they are done eating, the lioness, the other cubs, they'll come in and they'll also eat. But what is left to the lion are actually leftovers. This is a phase in which if we happen to flip the page and look at us human beings, this is the stage where your parents, are providing for you, maybe to go to college, maybe to do some course, or maybe are giving you capital. They go out, they do the hard work, they go out, they work, they hustle for you, and then they come back home, they pay the bills, they do what? They make sacrifices, and then they give you what is left. That is the phase, the scavenger phase. This is a phase that is very important, and we all actually have to be aware of, because this phase actually defines our life. Just like it defines the lion's life, it also defines our lives. But many of us are not aware of this stage, the scavenger stage. What happens is that in this stage, because the lion is learning by observation, because the lion has the privilege of feeding on the leftovers, it has to decide to build its capacity. Many times when life is good, we don't take advantage of finding out, what would happen if life turned around. Sometimes when life is all good, when business is all good, we don't think about the times when business is not going to be good. Like, for instance, before COVID-19, trust me, I never thought about COVID-19 coming. I never even thought about my business being ruptured in such a way that it did during COVID-19. So this serves as a lesson to us to know that, at the end of the day, or somehow, somewhere, there's going to be a rainy day. So this phase, the scavenger phase, is a very important stage for the lion, because it prepares the lion, it trains the lion to reposition themselves. Because what happens to the lion is that at the age of 3, the lion is kicked out. The lion is kicked out because its organs have grown, and it might actually impregnate, its sisters. So it's actually kicked out. And when it's kicked out, it needs to fend for itself. It needs to survive. So that 3 years we can actually look at this time as in when we're no longer getting the sponsorship from our parents. Or if it's somebody, maybe their guardian, maybe their sponsor dies. So that sponsorship is no longer coming in. So that's the phase that the lion now is kicked out. And he's kicked out and needs to survive. He needs to fend for himself. He needs to, now begin to display what he learned when he was being trained. He needs to look back within himself to see what it is that he gathered in himself when the times were good. It's at this point when a lion is sent out of the pride. It's at this point when the best example is when a parent that was well-to-do dies and the kids were spoiled. All they knew was to receive from their parent. This is a point where now those children suffer. They are left with an inheritance, but within a short space of time, that inheritance is blown away because they do not know how to keep up the wealth. They do not know how to grow the wealth. They do not know how to multiply the wealth, because at that point, when their parents were giving them stuff easily, they didn't take an interest to know how the parents were actually making that wealth. So it's very important, guys. The scavenger stage is very important. It's a stage in which we get to build our capacity. It is a stage in which we get to learn how to reposition ourselves in case life happens and life knocks us down. It is a time that we get to prepare ourselves, because if you do not, intentionally go through this scavenger phase, knowing that there's going to be a rainy day, knowing that you've got to fend for yourself at some point, what is going to happen is that you'll be forced to go into society half-baked. And when you go into society half-baked, life is going to happen. And sometimes when life happens, you feel like the world has turned against you. And then we feel like that because the time that we had things at our disposal we actually never got, to take advantage of those time to better ourselves. Like I said in the introduction, that Moments with Inonge is a platform for personal awareness and development. At this scavenger phase, at this time when COVID-19 has kicked in and we're not so busy. Guys, what are you doing? How are you adding value to yourself? Because you've got to understand that this too, COVID-19, it shall pass. We've had a lot of pandemics come and we've had a lot of pandemics go. This too shall pass. But when it passes and opportunity begins to spring forth, what is going to happen? We saw from that verse that I got from the inspirational segment, which was yesterday, we saw that this is all decided by chance. So when the chance is given to you, what are you going to do with the chance? Are you going to be able to hold the chance? Are you going to be able to take up the chance? Because at that time, at the scavenger stage, at this time when things are not so busy, what were you doing? Are you adding value to yourself? Are you getting to discover yourself? Are you, finding out what your gifts are, what your talents are, what your passion is? Are you taking up that online course just to sharpen your skills? What are you doing? This stage is a very important stage because believe you me, guys, life is going to open up again. The globe is going to open up again. The world is going to open up again. Opportunities are going to present themselves. But we've got to understand that opportunities are not going to wait for you to now start getting ready, because there was a time to get ready and now it's a time to move. So how are you going to reposition yourself? I'm here to encourage somebody. That book that you have, take that book and read that book. For those that are in Zambia, I'm sure you've been hearing about this book, Braving the Odds. Get a copy, read that book. So that even when, another phase of winter comes, another phase of recession comes, you'll be able to know, you'll be equipped on how to brave the odds. There's a free coaching session going on Moments with Inonge. Have you taken the deliberate effort to, just book that free coaching session? What are you doing to better yourself? What are you doing to add value to yourself so that when opportunity presents itself, you are ready? Opportunities are never lost. Trust me, they're never lost. Opportunity will come to you. But when it finds that you are not prepared, all it will do is it will move to the next person. And if the next person is prepared, they'll grab that opportunity. And then you just realize that, okay, I wasn't prepared. It won't wait for you to now start taking up that online course. Imagine you see an advert in the newspaper, and then they are looking for this is an advert for employment, and some of the qualifications is, maybe for instance, you're an accountant, and one of the qualifications they want for you to also have done, for instance, maybe SCA or Zika, but they want an extension or requirement which is for you to have knowledge about pastel. So if you're an accountant at this point, how are you adding value to yourself? Are you getting to know other ways of, being able to operate in an office? Are you upgrading yourself by going for these little short courses that add value to an accountant? In this example, are you taking on that pastel course? What I'm trying to say is the scavenger phase is very, very important. You've got to take up this, this phase with awareness that, there's going to be a brighter day. There's going to be a day that is going to bring up opportunity. But the question is, when that opportunity comes, will I be ready? Will I be ready? When the lion leaves the pride at 3 years, when it's kicked out of the pride, the lion goes out. And when it goes out, there are two things that happen. It's either one, it's gonna return to the pride and be the alpha lion, offer protection to the pride, or two, it's not going to come back. But if it's not going to come back, there are things that it has to do. When it meets another group of lions, what it has to do is it has to kill the alpha lion. And not only kill the alpha lion, it has to go a step further by killing all the male lions. Because if it doesn't do that, the lioness in that pride will not allow it to come closer. Thirdly, after it's done killing the alpha lion, it kills all the male lions, it's now going to build a new pride. So you've got to realize that even after a sunny day, there's going to be now a time when life actually tests you. Like a lion is going to test you. It's going to test your ability to stand the test of time. It's going to test what you learned when you were going through the scavenger phase. It's going to test, what you were doing when things were not so busy. The scavenger phase, very, very important, because it is during that time that you build your capacity for you to go out there. A lot of people, when they grow up, they leave their parents' home. And when they leave their parents' home, they start living alone because they found out that, okay, now they've got a job, now they've grown, and now they think they can survive. But they go out there, and as they live alone, they realize that they've got electricity bills, they've got water bills, they've got rentals, they've got groceries, they've got to buy food. And now they realize to say, oh, my salary is not enough. What happens during those times? Are you going to take up the lessons that you learned from the person that was taking care of you? Or are you going to go back to being kept? Because sometimes people go back to being kept because they didn't learn how to manage their finances. They didn't sit down with their sponsors, with their parents, with their guidance to ask how you make it when you leave. So parents, for those that are parents, we need to ensure, because you've heard this word, because you've heard this motivational segment, you've got no choice, but at some point, as your children, I beg your pardon, are about to leave the house, as they are growing, you've got to be intentional about teaching them the ways of life so that even when you're gone, they're able to cope and not squander the wealth that you're going to leave behind. The cherry, the icing on the cake for parents, a lesson for parents that are watching this segment is, for the lion, even the lioness, when they catch, when they catch that animal, when that meal, comes, what happens is that first the lion will eat. The lioness, the king will eat, the queen will eat. Only after will now the lioness eat, and then only after will the lion eat. But it's so unfortunate that at this point in time, we have youths that are so indisciplined, that feel, so obligated to eat even before their parents. And even as parents, we are not teaching the children, what they ought to do in order to survive. We're just giving them. They don't know how to make a cent. They don't know how to make $1. They don't know how to make a ngwe. So as parents, we can also take a lesson from this lifespan of a lion, from the culture of a lion, to say, you know what, when food comes, the parents will eat and the children will get the leftover. The children have got to learn how to survive. They've got to learn what it is that, made their parents bring that food home. Those are lessons that we've got to learn. So in closing, before I go to the comments, I just want to close with this. You don't have to be the smartest, fastest, wisest, or tallest in order to become the best version of yourself. Remember, you are not in a competition with others. You are only competing with yourself. You are competing with the you that you were yesterday. Every day, you are competing with yourself to become a better version of yourself. When presented with the opportunity to learn, take it seriously, because you will never know when life will test you. For lions, they know that at the age of 3, you are kicked out. But for us human beings, we never know when life is going to test us. We don't know when it's going to flip. We didn't know that COVID-19 was coming. We didn't know that this is what it was going to do. It doesn't matter the loss you have gone through. I believe you can reposition yourself if you want. Nobody is going to force you to reposition yourself. When life knocks you down, nobody is going to force you to get up. You've got to be intentional about getting up. The ground is not where you belong. You belong on the top, and that is where we are going to meet. So that is what I had for you in this motivational segment. So in whatever way that you have been encouraged, please drop those comments and let me know. As a result of tonight's motivational segment, please do let me know what your next step of action is going to be, because it's important to hold each other accountable. So please do let me know what your next step is actually going to be. Drop those comments. Let me know what your next step is actually going to be. So we have a comment. We have a comment from William, and William says, the best thing to do is not to stay down. I have to stand up and continue. We also have a comment from Manfred, and Manfred says, good evening. Good evening, Manfred. How are you doing? Thank you so much for being part and parcel of tonight's motivational segment. And we have a comment from Mukuka, and Mukuka says, listening from Kitwe. Hey Mukuka, how are you doing? Mukuka, I haven't seen you online in a long time. I hope and trust that you are good, and I hope and trust that you have been motivated to keep on keeping on during this motivational segment. So guys, drop those comments. Let me know, what it is that you have taken out of today's motivational segment. And for those that have just joined us, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for tuning into Moments with Inonge's motivational segment. And please be reminded that we have a leadership segment tomorrow at 7:45. That's 19:45 Central African time. And this leadership segment is going to be jam-packed because we're going to have some guests, and we're going to have a moment of enlightenment. So it's going to be powerful tomorrow. Please ensure that you actually make a date. Tomorrow at 19:45, that's 7:45 p.m. Central African time. So for those that are still typing, please do drop those comments. Be reminded that every Sunday we have the inspirational segment at 1 p.m. Central African time. Every Monday we have the motivational segment at 19:45, and on Tuesdays we have the leadership segment, and we also have a free 30 minutes coaching session, the history of your future. So guys, if you haven't already booked for this coaching session, please ensure that you do, because it's going to cause you to be aware of what lies ahead of you in the future, and it will also give you the opportunity to actually test what professional coaching is like. And also, please take note that we have one-on-one coachings as well as group coaching. So for the one-on-one as well as group coaching, we have put your dream to the test, which is going for 300 kwacha. And if you're doing a group coaching, when you come together, it's going to be at a discounted rate. We also have the 15 laws of invaluable growth. The one-on-one coaching is going for 1,500, and you can also pay in installments. Installments are actually received. So we also have group coaching for the 15 invaluable laws of growth. So what is happening is that, if you're alone and you're doing the one-on-one coaching session, you'd be paying 1,500 for the 15 invaluable laws. But if, say, you're the 5 of you and you decide to come together, instead of having to pay that is it 7,500? You'd actually pay 5,000. So each one of you, you're going to be saving something. You're going to be saving something like maybe a 500 kwacha, which is a lot when you come to think about it. So that's that. You can take advantage. And thank you so much to the group that actually reached out to me and said, you know what, we want to grow as friends. So is there a way that you can accommodate us? We want to have a group coaching. So groups are welcome, starting from the number of 5 to 10. The number is from 5 to 10, a group of 5 to 10 people that I will take up in the one-on-one coaching sessions. So we also have something that is coming up, and please guys, look out for this one. This is going to be great. This is a practical table, and it is starting next month. So, I can come like this. I'm live, but my time is limited. I can come like this. I can tell you to reposition yourself. I can give you the knowledge on how to reposition yourself. You can have that knowledge. But sometimes the big question is, okay, I know I gotta reposition myself, but the question is, how do I reposition myself? So what we're gonna be doing in this practical table, hence the name practical table, is we are going to be taking practical steps. Say if for this week we're looking at a topic, say one of our topics, the first topic will actually be centered around ideas. So ideas, in order for us to develop ourselves. So what is going to happen is that in that week where we're centering around ideas, we're going to be practical. It's not just going to be me saying, oh, ideas do this, ideas do that. No, we're going to be practical, and we're going to hold each other accountable, because we have to grow. We need to soar. We need to meet, at the top. So guys, please look out for that one. And at this point, thank you so much. Thank you so very much for everyone that is actually tuned into the motivational segment. I hope and trust that we'll be able to meet by the grace of God in tomorrow's leadership segment. I am so excited because it's jam-packed, and you know what I mean. The leadership segment is like the roofing. It's like placing the roofing on top of the building that we've built in the motivational segment, and on top of the foundation that we've laid in the inspirational segment. So guys, thank you so very much. I do appreciate your presence, and thank you for liking. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for tagging somebody to be part and parcel. Thank you for ensuring that the community of Moments with Inonge is actually growing. Thank you so very much, guys. I love you, and please do make a debt for tomorrow's leadership segment. Thank you, guys. Thank you, guys. And we call it a night, day, morning, depending on where you're watching from.